101 years ago today, Italy invaded Greece. But why did they do that, and what came of it? That's what I'll be explaining today, the 1923 Corfu Incident. So on August 27, 1923, the Italian general Enrico Tellini, who was in charge of the Conference of Ambassadors, was murdered along with his Italian staff in Greece. When news of the murders reached Italy, the people were outraged. They saw the murders as Greece failing to do her duty to protect the ambassadors, and some thought that the murders were part of a Greek conspiracy against the Italians, since the two nations had very bad relations. Soon after the murders, Benito Mussolini, the Prime Minister of Italy, sent an ultimatum to Greece, wherein, among many other things, he demanded the catching of the murderers and 50 million lira, which I believe is about 2 million modern USD, but I can't be sure. Greece was somewhat willing to work with Italy if the demands were modified, but otherwise they denied them, since as they were outrageous. It was probably on purpose, though. Since Greece denied his demands, Mussolini ordered the Italian Navy to go to the island of Corfu, and on the 31st of August, as I said 101 years ago today, the Italian Navy reached Corfu. The Navy sent a small flotilla into the harbor and demanded the surrender of the island. The Greeks refused, though, so the flotilla left back to the rest of the Navy, giving them a 30-minute grace time. There was an awkward stalemate between the island and the Italian Navy. The Greeks didn't believe the Italians would attack them, because the island had little to no military presence and was a neutral place. So there was no way that would happen, right? Yeah, no way that would happen. But airplanes started to fly in the sky, and then a whole bunch of bullets started to rain on the town of Corfu. The Italians concentrated most of their fire on the old fortress, which mainly held refugees and orphans from Anatolia. The Italians may have known about this, but they may not have. Sources differ, but it seems more like they did know about it, and attacked the fortress on purpose. The bombardment lasted about 30 minutes, and during it 12 to 20 people died, and up to 50 or 60 were injured. Overnight, Greece gained world sympathy, because they had done nothing wrong and were being attacked and occupied by a major power, though Italy said all this was temporary and they would leave as soon as their demands were met. The murder of the refugees on Corfu quickly overshadowed the murder of Tellini and his Italian staff. After news of the invasion reached Athens, Greece sent for the League of Nations, and the League of Nations got involved on September 3rd, and began talking about what to do, or at least they tried to, because Italy and France were working together to stall the League of Nations making the decision, hoping to stall them long enough so the Conference of Ambassadors could possibly take over the case, and go in Italy's favor. It may sound odd that France and Italy were working together, especially against the UK, but they were because France had recently invaded part of Germany, and so if the League of Nations decided negatively against Italy, that could also go against France. The two stalled long enough and the case was given to the Conference of Ambassadors, who voted in Italy's favor, and that Greece should have to do all of the demands that Italy gave them. That, and with the UK delegate at Geneva also giving a vague threat to the Italians, one that sounded kind of like a threat of war, which Italy was in no way prepared for, made the Italians agree to leave Corfu by the 27th of September. So on the 27th, the Italian Navy left, but they came back a few hours later because Mussolini realized the money was put in the International Quartz Bank, not the Italian bank. So the Navy stayed at Corfu for just a few more days, though they denied this. In his book, Mussolini's Early Diplomacy, Alan Castle suggested this was an attempt to try and make Greece act out so Italy could have an excuse to reoccupy the island, but either way, they did leave Corfu in the end, and the incident was over. So that was the Corfu incident, but what was the outcome of it? Well, it boosted Mussolini's support in Italy and made him a national hero. It made him look powerful and clever to the Italians and showed he was a good statesman. It also showed the world the League of Nations wasn't as powerful as it claimed to be. Sure, they prevented a war between Italy and Greece, but they also forced a victim of attack and occupation to pay their attacker and give them medals. And, they kind of just gave up the case they were given. They didn't really even do what I just said they did. Not to mention it showed Mussolini, maybe even Hitler, that they could get away with things they wanted to do. Some have argued the incident was a failure, and others have argued it was a success. Personally, I'd say it was a failure, a major one, just one of the first stepping stones to Europe falling to fascism. But that's just my opinion. I hope you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and check the description for more info and stuff. I had to leave a lot of things out to make this video short, but it's still pretty long. But either way, goodbye.